Good morning, YouTube. It is a beautiful Saturday morning. It is 6 a.m. and I just felt like enjoying the nice cool temperature before it heats up. It's going to be 88 today. So just enjoying the cool weather while I can. But yeah, guys, I woke up this morning. I just felt compelled to make a YouTube video. And I still don't know exactly what I want to talk about, but I know where I want to start off. So that's a start. And where I wanted to start off was, man, guys, you can make this life a haven, or you could make it an absolute hell. And it starts with your decisions. Everything in your life begins and ends with your decisions. Your happiness level will depend on your decisions. Your sadness level will depend on your decisions. Your anger will depend on your decisions. And one thing I'm super grateful about is just being older, at an older age in my life, even though I'm not old, but just being older, for example, older than I was 5 years ago. And being at this age where I am, where my intrapersonal relationship with myself has grown, and where I've been able to know myself more and know what I want, know the way I am, know my long-term goals, know the things that I like to do, and the things I like being around, and the people I like being around, the people I don't like being around. So all these things I'm very grateful for, because they lead me in the direction I need to go. One thing, several things actually, I've learned about myself as I've gotten older is that I love and thrive in simplicity. Simplicity is the hallmark of my motherfucking life, guys. And without it, I would go mentally insane. I like things simple. I like things basic as it can get. And that's not to say, and that's not because I'm dumb, but it's actually because I am smart. Because actually to make your life overly complicated is actually not really very smart. And one of the ways that I keep my life simple is, I decide not to have children. That's number one. I have decided not to have children. I got a vasectomy now close to a month ago. And that is one of the ways I'm planning on keeping my life simple. Not bringing children into this world. And that makes me, when I tell y'all, this makes me so fucking happy. It makes me so fucking happy. I could literally think about this all day and rejoice like a manic, hyper-religious individual on top of a rock in the middle of nowhere. When I think of my childless future, bro, I get this rush of energy that it's like inspiration. It's like the Holy Spirit. And it just courses through my veins, and I get so much energy. But ultimately, more so, I get what I was telling you guys about: simplicity, peace, calmness, stillness, stability. These are the things that I get from when I think about having a childless life. And like I was referring to before, I made that decision. I made the decision to get a vasectomy. I made an active choice in my life that would prevent me, for the most part, from having children. And this is why happiness comes back to us always. It comes back to our decisions. It comes back to how we navigate relationships, going back to decisions. It comes back to how we navigate and choose to construct our life. So that's one of the things that I've learned about myself. I love simplicity. Why else do I love simplicity? Because when I have little responsibilities, I am actually able to tune into my intrapersonal relationship. So once again, I want to define intrapersonal relationship. Intrapersonal relationship is the relationship that you have with yourself. This differs from interpersonal relationship, which means the relationship you have with other people. Intrapersonal relationship, I-N-T-R-A, personal, is a relationship you have with yourself. So anything that allows me to go back to myself, practice my hobbies, is what I want in my life. Because me, just like everyone else who grew up in the United States, America, I mean, I feel like just anywhere. If you've grown up in modern society, you have been absolutely stripped from your sense of self from the moment you came out of the womb. The moment they threw you into these school systems, they stripped you of yourself. You have no interpersonal relationship. You're focused on academics. I am totally entering a new subject, so I'm sorry, but this is important. They've stripped you of your interpersonal relationship with yourself through the academic system, and thinking that these academic subjects are relevant or important, or that they're going to have an important impact on your life, which they will absolutely not. You will actually not really remember 99% of things you learn in school. It is so sad. The one thing I do like about school is that it is cognitively engaging, and we know from research that being cognitively engaged in tasks is actually healthy for us. It helps us develop, those deeper thinking, critical thinking skills, and I'm all for that. I love that. But do we really have to take a child's whole childhood away from them? Keep them in schools from the moment they wake up until the afternoon. Keep them away from their parents, or they risk, having to go to court and legal issues for not going to school. Like, do we really have to strip children away from their families in order to critically engage them? All right, so I'm going into a whole nother subject. I'll keep away, but going back to why that interpersonal relationship with myself is so important. It's because I've been stripped from myself ever since I was a kid. So anytime that I get with myself is a blessing. Another reason why I've enjoyed being 29 is that I've developed a strong interpersonal relationship with myself. I remember being very sad over certain friendships or relationships not working out in my early 20s, and I had a pretty big fixation on, oh my God, why didn't that work out? Oh, I wish this person was in my life. Oh, my life feels empty without this person. But in the last 5 or 6 years, since COVID, I have really worked so hard to get to where I am now in my career and other areas too, that I developed a lot of self-love from that. You develop self-love when you put yourself through the ringer and do things for yourself and reap the benefits of those things. And when you're able to see from atop the mountain that your work was not in vain. Now, of course, this is not the only way to develop self-love, because there's lots. I mean, you can develop self-love just in and of just being alive, which you absolutely should, because every live thing needs love and care and warmth. But I developed a stronger sense of self-love through the grind, through doing things that were hard, stressful, uncomfortable, and Not that uncomfortable in an unhealthy way, but in a healthy way. And I developed an appreciation for myself. So I've been able to foster this sense of self through that journey. Man, being 29, bro, and just being able to make decisions in your life that determine the trajectory of your future. Going back to my point of simplicity and why I love simplicity, I feel like simplicity is not just something that will make me happy, but it's going to make me healthier. It's something that I feel to the very core of my being, and I feel it in the bones and muscles of my body, and I feel it in my mental state when my life is simple, when I don't have responsibilities, when I don't have kids to take care of, and when I don't have, a massive useless house to maintain and a massive useless car payment to pay off monthly. Bro, I feel so much better, so much more stable. So I found purpose in being 29, and that is keeping your life as simple as it could be, which could be very hard for some people because we are oftentimes very driven by distraction, and distraction is a good thing and it's actually required, but it can get us in even more stress. And maybe we're not driven by distraction, we're driven by the need to impress other people with fancy cars, fancy houses, and ultimately it's not actually making us closer to people. It's probably taking us further away from people because the time and the cost it takes to maintain those possessions actually strips us from time and creativity and building upon our own self-concepts, building upon our own gifts, that at the end of the day, when you pay off the house, the car, you may not have a sense of motherfucking self. And there goes your ability to potentially connect with people that could have been life-changing for you. So the priorities are twisted in American society. Look, going back to not having children, some people don't necessarily even plan having children. It's just something that happens to them. But at this stage of the game, I'm convinced that people should not be having children anymore, even if they make a lot of money. Because I think any person that works a 9 to 5, and thinks that they are genuinely happy is absolutely lying to themselves and is just saying that in order to feel better. Yes, some 9 to 5s provide maybe one a little bit more meaning, but nonetheless, working 8 hours a day is inhumane. And the fact that you would want someone else to enter this system is, I think, out of touch with your basic humanity. And I'm gonna take it here, but our ancestors didn't have to go through this school system stuff. Our ancestors didn't have to suffer through this. This has been something just like the last maybe 3 generations where we've had these 9 to 5s. This is something very new in human development. So I feel that to feel the way I do, like this strong resistance to 9 to 5, the strong resistance to a life of work, I think it's a normal, and I think it's a healthy, and I think it's an incredibly valid thing. And this calling I have to tell people, hey guys, we shouldn't have children. We should actually be focused on meeting our own emotional needs without bringing children into the world. I think that message is very critical to hear in a world, in a government that emphasizes and incentivizes having children. Christianity is a very dominant religion here in the United States, and its constant message is have children, have a family, get married. These things can heighten your happiness, but ultimately your happiness needs to derive from within. Happiness is a choice. Happiness is a choice, not always dependent on whether we're freaking tryhards. It's just a choice at the end of the day. But depending on a relationship or children for that happiness is what I think it's selfish. And I think it's funny because historically people have thought that people that don't have kids are selfish. But I think it's actually the other way around. I think if you are having kids, that's an active decision to bring them into this world without their control. I think that is a very self-centered thing to do, to have children, to bring people into this world that didn't ask for it. I mean, quite literally, you didn't ask them to be here. They had no idea the implications, and now they're going to work a 9 to 5. I don't mean to be depressing sounding, but the fact of the matter is 9 to 5s are inhumane. They keep us away from the most essential and beautiful thing about life, which is human connection with oneself. So yeah, making my life simple, bro. Making my life simple, sis. It's just about keeping it simple. Plain and simple. That is life. It doesn't need to be this complex architecture of, success and of constant growth and, striving. It just needs to be simple, and I think that's where the joy is to be found. Look, guys, we want too much, bro. I see motherfuckers out here with $40,000, $50,000 trucks, and I'm just thinking, oh my God, how many years is it gonna take you to pay that off? You could have literally been investing in wisdom. You could have been investing in an art skill that would have literally cost absolutely nothing compared to that. And, you could have saved peace of mind. But here we are, making car payments for 6, 7, 8 years, and it is psychotic. It's not healthy, and I want this to stop. Consumerism on that scale is just keeping the freaking whole system going. But yeah, guys, we have gone off on various loops in this video, but we're gonna continue going on more loops because it's a beautiful Saturday morning, and it feels so fresh out here, and it's got me talking. I'm still buzzed from last night. Had a cute little time last night at the bar for a couple friends' birthdays. I have 3 friends whose birthdays all fall on the same week, so we went out to the bar. I was hanging out with them. God damn it, ambulance. Still gonna keep talking. As I was hanging out with them on Friday, my friend, I realized, shit, I don't get to hang out with my friends until usually Friday, which is a load of bullshit. Purpose of life should be, all right. The purpose of life should be to be with the people you love for the longest amount of time, and yet the government has stripped us away from that. The conventional society has stripped us away from that. The system has stripped families away from one another, and it's so funny because it's like this culture, it's like it values the family, the focus on the family. I remember this Christian program, focus on the family. Bitch, what fucking family? You see, the school system is going to take your kid away all day long, and if you don't put them in there, they're going to put you in jail. There ain't no fucking focus on the family in the United States. Plain and simple. You have to work a 9 to 5 Bro, you're not even gonna be with your kid for the vast majority of the time, and it is developmentally crippling. It's going to be disastrous for them. They're gonna have so many emotional needs that are unmet. It's just terrible. They're gonna fall into these toxic relationships. Baby, you know what? I am just telling you what it is. This is what I'm saying. Don't have fucking kids. Because we don't need to feed into this anymore. Focus on yourself. Be selfish. Focus on yourself. And then from that abundance, you can provide other people from your abundance. I'm a single man. I focus on myself, and I'm able to provide other people my time, my patience, my acceptance, my understanding. I'm able to make other people feel seen and witnessed. I'm able to make other people feel heard. And people have forgotten the value of being present and being connected to other people. We're so fixated on, oh my God, I need to bring a baby into this world. Oh my God, I need to get a massive mortgage payment. Oh my God, I need to get a car. Oh my God, I need to go on this trip. Like, hey, I'm all for the trip, but like, for real though, the most important thing in this world are your friends and your family and yourself. And that should always be a priority. Should always be number one. So forget that. And oftentimes, what people call soft skills, just being present with another person or being able to communicate, oftentimes is taken for granted and not even seen as something of value, which is so tragic. In this society that glamorizes, technical knowledge. You fucking idiots. You have no idea what true happiness and where it comes from. And the reason I'm mad right now is because I used to be so focused on, I need more scientific knowledge. I need to be that guy who has so much scientific knowledge and knows so much about facts and everything, and it's just gonna be the greatest thing. It's gonna make me so happy. No, none of that is making me happy. There are certain particulars to that make me happy, but that's because they contribute to a healthy perception of other people in the world and myself. Okay, I'm bringing it back. But the most valuable thing is the connection we have with others. And that has been stripped and stolen from us because of this fixation that we have on being elitist and being the greatest and trying to be the smartest. Like I was saying, like, so much of my life was spent just chasing knowledge, and it still is. Different types of knowledge, but for what purpose? Like it served certain purposes, but I felt for a while that being scientifically knowledgeable in different areas is the most important thing, and no, the most important thing are the people that you love, the time that you can give them, that the connection, the soft skills, the communication, the conversations, the depth. This is the shit that matters. This is the shit that we should be investing our fucking tax dollars in, not schools. This is the shit that's healthy. And it's tragedy that most people have lost sight of that. But the saving grace is that, like I'm telling you, we can still choose to center our lives around human connection, center our lives around the true purpose of life, which is love and connection. And it starts with those healthy decision making. It starts with healthy decision making. Once again, like I was saying earlier, yes, I have listed various barriers to human connection, but at the same time, I've also stated how I am prioritizing human connection in my interpersonal relationship through, for example, living below my means, not having children, not buying a huge house that I don't need, not striving to do things that are kind of purposeless, and And through that, I'm actually going to have more time. And you can too. It's a matter of prioritizing. It's a matter of finding ways to live with less so that you can live more. And ultimately, I think the beautiful thing about having turned 29 is that I'm at the stage now where I can finally start to focus on how I'm going to slow down my life even more. And I'm just 29, I'm very young, but I know that I don't want more complexity in my life. I know that I want less. I want more free time. I want more time with the people I love, and that is the most important thing to me. And because I'm aware of this, I have already, and I have been already for years now, been making strides to get to that point. And we all could do this, and it's very simple. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to know what you want, and that's the gift of getting older. Not that I feel everyone, achieves a revelation like this just by getting older, but it's something that I have just been gifted with, that I know what I want, and I've made steps to achieve it. But I also want other people to also recognize, that life could get better, but you have to put in and make these decisions for yourself. And I want people to recognize that you could live just for living. You don't have to live to impress. You don't have to live to constantly achieve. Yes, these things make life more colorful, and for me, they've helped me with self-love. But there's something beautiful and critical to be enjoyed in just being alive, and not just being a product of society. So, my plan, save up my money, live below my means, take extended periods of time off where I could focus on my hobbies, focus on my skills, focus on my relationships, and live a life of minimal stress, live a life of simplicity, and preach that as a possibility to the people of the world, because there's more people in the world than there's ever been. And I don't think that humanity can continue growing at the rate it has these past 60 or 70 years, or else we're in for something. I think scientifically, like, the world can only hold so many people, like 10 billion people, and then after that it's going to start to, population is going to decline. So there's going to be some of us that need to self-reflect and be the ones to say, you know what, I'm going to decide not to have children. I'm going to decide to have a simple life, not contribute to more climate change by buying a massive house or buying material possessions. And we need to slow down this incoming disaster. I mean, it's it's inevitable, but it can still be slowed. And some of us simply can contribute to that, but just by not being over materialistic and just not having children, like, we can slow this whole thing down. And I'm speaking for generations far ahead, and it sounds a little crazy, sounds a little wacko, but it is actually good, and it's actually healthy. It actually provides me a little bit more sense of purpose, and that's a beautiful thing. So yeah, guys, don't get caught up in what society says that you need to own and do all these things. Of course, you have to make money, man. There's no way to escape that. You got to make money, and you got to make good money. But once you do, don't get caught up in the trap of, oh, now it's baby time, or now it's big house time, or now it's fancy car time. Don't get caught up in that trap. Now it's, find ways to make more money, but keep the life simple, and remember what matters most: yourself. Love yourself, prioritize yourself. Think before you go on a massive financial think before you make massive financial decisions, because these are the things that keep people back in that cage, circling around like a little mouse. Like it's just insane. And this is what we've been taught is happiness, and it's not. And anyone who's had the privilege of being able to connect with their authentic self recognizes this. And it's it's enlightening. So, you're not crazy for thinking that it's crazy to work a 9-to-5. You're not crazy for wanting extended periods of time away from that system that has kept you from your friends and family and yourself. You're not crazy. And it's a healthy thing to want to take time away from that or devise a plan to leave that system. So it all starts with your decision making. It all starts with that desire for simplicity. It starts with planning, and then you have to, move with intention and be calculated, and then you can eventually get there. Alrighty, guys. Well, that was a nice little short clip for y'all. A 31-minute clip. It is still a beautiful day out here. I think I touched upon various subjects I want to talk about. I did want to talk about being single. What was the other subjects I wanted to talk about? There's a few other subjects I want to talk about, but we'll get to them. We'll get to them eventually. It's been a while since I recorded a video, like 10 days or so. So I want to get something out, talking about the most important thing, which is a simple life. Alrighty, my beautiful cutie patooties, my precious babies. We'll see you soon. I hope you all have a wonderful Saturday, a nice relaxing Saturday. Focus on that self-care, refresh yourself, rejuvenate yourself, and take care of yourself. That's the number one mission. Take it easy. Don't go too hard. Remember to take breaths when you have to. Eat good, healthy food. Do a little bit of exercise, and keep being your best self. All right. Peace and love.